We often search for life-changing answers in complex books, grand philosophies, or distant ideals, forgetting that sometimes the most powerful shifts come from the simplest insights. A single principle, rightly understood and consistently practiced, can change not just a moment, but the entire trajectory of your life. Few traditions have distilled such timeless principles more clearly than Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These thinkers were not theorists isolated in ivory towers. They were men tested by hardship, power, and loss. Yet through all of it they left behind not abstract musings but living wisdom. Simple truths meant to be practiced, not just admired. Truths that, when lived, forge clarity, strength, and freedom from within. Today, much of our suffering comes from forgetting this simplicity. We chase the approval of others, hoping it will fill the void. We fear discomfort, building lives around its avoidance. We treat time as infinite, wasting days on what does not matter. We allow old wounds to rule us, unexamined and unresolved. And yet, with each small compromise, we drift further from the life we could live, a life of inner peace, resilience, and authenticity. But the Stoic path offers a way back. It is not a promise of an easy life. It is a call to a stronger one, a life where you no longer seek to control what lies beyond your grasp, but instead master the one thing always within your command, yourself. A life where you meet each moment with presence, purpose, and the courage to face what is difficult, rather than running from it. A life where time is honored, not squandered, where joy is cultivated through virtue, not indulgence. The beauty of this path is that it is built not on grand transformations, but on small daily choices. Practices so simple they can be overlooked, yet so profound they can change everything. The Stoics did not offer hacks or shortcuts. They offered discipline, reflection, and self-respect. And these remain as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. So as we walk through these timeless Stoic tips, do not listen passively. Listen as an invitation, for each one is a seed, and if you choose to plant even one of them deeply into the soil of your daily life, you may find, perhaps sooner than you think, that your life begins to change from the inside out. Not all at once, but choice by choice, moment by moment, thought by thought. Because sometimes it is not more knowledge we need, but more courage to live what we already know. Avoiding what must be faced, the Stoic acts with integrity, knowing they may not get another chance to do so. They forgive more quickly, understanding how foolish it is to carry bitterness into an uncertain tomorrow. This awareness transforms relationships. You become more present with those you love, more patient, more willing to speak the truths that matter. Petty conflicts dissolve when seen through the lens of impermanence. You begin to value depth over surface, sincerity over performance. In practical terms, this means starting each day with reflection. If today were my last, how would I live it? What would I prioritize? What would I release? It means catching yourself when you slip into autopilot, when you numb, when you defer what matters. It means embodying your values here and now, not in some imagined future, because the Stoic knows life does not owe you another moment. Each breath is a gift. Each choice is a chance to align with virtue. To live as if this moment were your last is not to live in fear, but in freedom, presence, and truth. So ask yourself today, if I truly held mortality in mind, how would I meet this moment? And then live it, not tomorrow, but now. 3. Pain is not the enemy. Your judgment of it is. We are conditioned to see pain as the enemy, something to be feared, avoided, suppressed at all costs. We chase comfort, numb ourselves with distraction, seek immediate relief when discomfort arises. But the Stoic sees through this illusion. Pain is not the enemy, our judgment of it is. It is not the sensation itself that destroys our peace, but the story we tell ourselves about it. And it is here in the space between experience and interpretation that the Stoic cultivates freedom. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He saw clearly what modern psychology confirms. Pain becomes suffering when magnified by resistance, fear, and negative interpretation. The physical sensation or emotional sting may be real, but it is the mind that adds layers of this shouldn't be happening, I can't bear this will ruin me. In doing so, we trap ourselves in cycles of anguish far worse than the original discomfort. The Stoic chooses another path. They train themselves to meet pain not with panic but with presence. They observe it with curiosity. What is this sensation teaching me? What virtue does this moment call for? Patience, courage, endurance. In this framing, pain transforms from tormentor to teacher. This shift begins with reframing discomfort itself. The modern world promotes the pursuit of constant ease, but the Stoic understands that a life without challenge weakens the soul. Pain, whether physical, emotional, or circumstantial, is the forge of resilience. It is the testing ground of character. To meet it willingly is to grow stronger. To flee from it is to become fragile. So the Stoic practices voluntary hardship, not to punish themselves, but to cultivate readiness. Cold showers, fasting, physical exertion, intellectual challenge. All are embraced as opportunities to train the mind to remain steady in the face of discomfort. If you can meet chosen difficulty with grace, you are better prepared to meet life's inevitable unchosen trials. Moreover, the Stoic views emotional pain through the same lens. Grief, anger, disappointment, these are part of life. To deny them is folly, but to become enslaved by them is equally misguided. The wise person allows these emotions to arise, to be felt, to be processed, but does not allow them to define or derail them. They understand this too is temporary. This too is an opportunity for growth. In daily life, this practice looks like pausing when discomfort arises instead of reacting impulsively. The Stoic breathes, observes, questions. What am I adding to this pain with my judgment? What story am I telling? Can I meet this moment with greater equanimity? Over time, this discipline builds remarkable inner strength, a mind less reactive, more grounded, more free. And in this freedom lies peace. For once you no longer fear pain, you are no longer its prisoner. You move through life with quiet resilience, knowing that whatever arises, you have the capacity to face it. Pain loses its power, not because it disappears, but because your relationship to it has transformed. So ask yourself today, am I meeting discomfort with resistance or with wisdom? Am I allowing pain to define me or to refine me? The Stoic knows pain is inevitable, but suffering is often a choice, and through this understanding, they walk the path of true resilience. 4. You become what you consistently tolerate. One of the most profound yet easily overlooked truths of the Stoic path is this: you are not shaped by your intentions, your words, or even your ideals. You are shaped by your habits, by what you consistently tolerate in yourself, in your environment, and in your relationships. Every choice you make, every boundary you allow to be crossed, every excuse you accept is a silent vote for the person you are becoming. The Stoic lives with acute awareness of this reality. Seneca warned, every sin is the result of a collaboration between error and habit. The danger is rarely in one dramatic fall, but in a slow erosion of standards. You skip one discipline, excuse one indulgence, let one instance of disrespect slide, and if left unchecked, this becomes your new baseline. What was once unacceptable becomes normal, and slowly, imperceptibly, your life tilts away from virtue. The Stoic understands that the soul is shaped by repetition, not by what you occasionally do when motivated, but by what you consistently practice, especially when no one is watching. You tolerate laziness once, and it becomes easier the next time. You tolerate gossip in your circle, and it quietly poisons your thinking. You tolerate mediocrity in your work, and your standards slip. Every moment of tolerance is a moment of shaping. This is why the Stoic practices constant vigilance, not harsh self-condemnation. This is a powerful continuation of Stoic wisdom focused on self-awareness, discipline, and courage. The way you've woven these ideas highlights how daily choices, mental habits, and facing fears shape who we become. Here's a concise distillation of the core themes you presented. Honest self-observation and alignment. Ask yourself daily, what habits and patterns am I reinforcing? Are your actions aligned with your ideals, or are you slipping into unconscious defaults? Small tolerances, allowing disrespect, laziness, or toxicity, gradually erode your character. Correct with resolve and kindness, not harshness. Set clear personal standards and guard your inner peace fiercely. Rejecting external validation. Dependence on praise is a prison. True worth comes from character, not applause. Expect misunderstanding and criticism when living with integrity. Practice contentment with being misunderstood if your actions are virtuous. Seek honest feedback, but do not perform for approval. Freedom from external validation brings inner peace and unshakable self-possession. Preparing for insults and provocation. Insults and offense are inevitable. Prepare your dignity in advance. Remember, harm comes not from insults, but from your reaction to them. Meet insults with calm composure and compassion, not retaliation. Cultivate dignity as a daily practice, so it flows naturally in adversity. Wish for inner strength, not easy days. Life is inherently challenging. Wishing for ease weakens you. Strength is forged through adversity and voluntary hardship. View obstacles as opportunities to cultivate courage, patience, wisdom, and discipline. Train your mind and body regularly to be ready for life's storms. Strength is a gift to others as well as yourself. Shaping the mind. Like clay. Your mind is malleable. It is shaped by habits, thoughts, and environment. Without conscious effort, you'll be shaped passively by distractions, negativity, and external noise. Practice daily reflection, journaling, meditation, and critical self-examination. Curate your inputs carefully. What you consume influences who you become. Reclaim authorship of your mind and life through deliberate mental discipline. Facing what you run from. Avoidance gives fears and wounds power over your life. True freedom is found in confronting what you fear, not escaping it. Sit with discomfort and unresolved emotions to diminish their control. This practice applies emotionally, intellectually, physically, and relationally. Embrace memento mori. Remembering mortality liberates you to live fully. What you face, you reclaim. What you run from, runs you. Life waits for no one, and time never pauses for those who hesitate or delay. Each day that passes, we have a choice: to live with awareness or to be swept away by the unconscious flow of habits and emotions. Those who truly understand the value of each moment will not let a single second slip away wasted, for they know time is the most precious gift we are given. It is not about waiting for tomorrow to do what we desire, but about living fully today, doing what is right, speaking honestly, and acting according to our deepest values. Self-awareness is not a burden or pressure, but a compass guiding us to see where we are headed, whether we are becoming the person we want to be or slowly losing ourselves to old patterns. Courageously facing fears, embracing challenges, and continuously strengthening our willpower build true inner strength. When we are no longer swayed by external praise or criticism, no longer shaken by insults or societal pressures, we live with a free and peaceful mind. Do not wish for an easy life. Instead, wish for the strength to endure hardships. For it is within challenges that we find ourselves, that we learn to grow and become stronger. Hold firm to your dignity in all circumstances, focus on what you can control, and refuse to let what is beyond your reach disturb your mind. Every day is a new opportunity to choose to live according to your values, to face yourself and life bravely, and to cherish every precious moment you are given. When you do this, you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but the author of your own life, free in mind and steady in your path.